Good morning, Suraj Singh, Civil Engineer, Bharat, India. Constitution of India. In continuation of previous talks, a serial of talks. Constitution of India, very important for everybody. If you realize, and if you don't realize, it's up to you. It's your document. It's for you. Constitution of Bharat Savidhaan, very significant document for everybody of you. If you respect this document, then respect yourself. Respect your country. If you don't respect your document, you don't respect your country. This is your identity. Based on this constitution, you got everything in this country from this country, and that you have to understand to realize this fact. If you don't realize this fact, it's your problem. You are at mistake, no one else. Your country has given some power, some document, legal document, constitutional document. The document is prime document, important document for each and every one of you. And if you don't respect this is your problem, none of else problem. Nobody will teach you all this. You have to understand yourself. This is your country, your nation. I was made talk about this on various channels and particularly on Facebook and YouTube. I just want to disseminate information, whatever I have got and whatever I understand. I think that's suitable for you and for you as a citizen of this country. I think that must be shared with you. Maybe you know more than what I know. Then you can give me your share, your knowledge. I accept that. Because dissemination of knowledge is very important in every country and particularly in every society and community like ours. So we are not reading oriented society. We are not book oriented society. We are society who book or hearsay, which is our problem. We believe in rumors. We believe in fake news. We believe in TV news, but we don't believe in fact of life. Fact of life is that you have to find yourself facts and not depend upon others to tell you what to say. But this is something else. This is our reality of life that we are living in country, Bharat, India, which is ruled by constitution of this country. Country is ruled in a sense, systems are ruled, whatever systems we have been granted, when we have been organized with, and we are in this organization of those systems, our country has been running to an extent, the ordinance of this country is concerned, and system of these countries are concerned. Systems are very important in everywhere. If you make systems, you are systematic. If you are honest, you can learn it from nature. And nature is systematic in itself. There is system working everywhere in nature. Nature cannot change its system to say millions of years before same thing existed, which exists now. There has been no change at all. There is no change at all. You can say nature is working according to what it used to work. When we started with that, I see, for example, let us see, sun starts and sun sets, though actually sun doesn't start set, but the motion, all planets are there, all are in the same design, same speed, diameters are different, solids, gravities are different, compositions can be different, but that system is same, location of distance is the same, just very depending on time. Sun is giving service, all planets are giving service, sky is giving service, air is giving service, and everything is giving service. Every property of God is giving service. God is giving service through these services. And that is very important to understand that God cannot come to you directly. God comes through so many resources that God has provided for you. And that is what country also is, one of those resources. Of course, country is not separate, not divided by some boundary wall, but the fact that we live in this country that is legally known as Bharat, India, and we come from this, we are born here, we live here, though we work anywhere, we are also involved, but we belong to this country and this country is ours. Though it's not basic property, but it's a relative property that I have been using this country since my childhood, and I use this till my death. That we have to understand that we have under the system. In this system, though who organizes doesn't matter. We organize this ourselves. So in this, we are being held by nature and by this country to survive, and that is significant. When we are survived, we are not paying something to someone. For example, you are using this country, you are not paying resident tax. You are paying taxes which you are earning. For that, no, not only for every item. You are not paying tax for air. You are not paying tax for some, because all natural resources you are getting in. But question is, we have to understand first. We have to learn it. Every time I say we have to learn about our country. We have to learn about the whole world. We are ready to learn about America. We are ready to learn about other countries, but we are not ready to learn about our country, which is very significant. First of all, you should respect self. When you respect self, you can respect your family, and then respect family, you can respect your neighborhood. When you say neighborhood, you can respect your state, and then you your state, you can respect your country, and then whole world. And that's a sequence you should follow with. You should not simply say, I will love that country, I respect America, but I don't respect Bharat. This means you are a stupid person, you are not patriot, you don't understand what you are talking about. First, you have to respect yourself. That's called self-evaluation, self-degree. If you have failed somewhere in your own, you have to modify that. You have amend that one mistake, you have rectified that mistake, take remedial action, that's an important one. First, you respect yourself, you value yourself. You cannot respect you cannot respect others. There's an expectation of everyone. If I want respect from someone, I have to respect that person to an extent is required. Otherwise, that person shall not respect me. But that person can by mistake respect the second time, that person will not come to respect until he receives something by reciprocation. And if I don't reciprocate, this means I am at fault, and the person is. Similarly, if we don't understand our country as a family, we cannot understand anyone in the whole world, and we cannot understand ourselves. We have to analyze ourselves, our country, our people, our nation, our sources, everything, and then we have to see where I stand. If I give to, if I am able to give to my country something, it's my right, it's my duty, not only right, I have to give that to my country because I am member of this country. It's my domicile, it's my home, it's my birth and motherland. I call it fatherland, parent, whatever you call it. It's mine, not someone else. But we have to understand that, we realize that we just don't sleep, don't imagine that, okay, somebody will take care, nobody will take care of that. You have to take your care on. By your own, you take your care. If you take your own care, others will help support you. That's what life is. If I do nothing and somebody will such a do for me, then I'm a sleeping person. I don't care for existence. I don't care for my country. I don't care for someone. And I think if something comes to me, fine, it's my luck. If it doesn't come to me, no, you have to make your luck yourself. Your hard work, God has given you everything. God is your body, God is your sources, God has given mind, God is everything. You have to use all those sources, all the components for your life, to improve your life, to lead your life, to progress your life, and that is called life. If I don't do that, work is worship. That's right. Karam is also worship. If you do karam, if you do work, you will get certain answer. You will get. Don't say my karam has gone waste, my work has gone waste. If you do work, you certainly get some answer. Maybe that fruit not according to your plan, but it shall be according to God's plan. You will get something in return. Whatever this measurable return or immeasurable, that doesn't matter. Also is relevant. Say, we have to understand where do we stand, what we are. So my Bharat, my India is my country, my home, real home is that until I am citizen of this country. Because I am born citizen of this country, I belong to this country belongs to me, and this country expects me to do something for it, to improve it, just like I do for my family, you do for your family. When you marry someone, you get someone as your spouse, and then you are taking responsibility of that one, then you get children, you generate your family, expand your family, and take responsibility and everything. Same way, you are taking responsibility of this country, because this is your parent, this country is your mother, your father, your brother, sisters, everything. All relatives of yours are staying in this country, though they may be staying somewhere else, but they belong to this country. That's very important to understand. Until you understand that, you cannot be called a good citizen of this country. You cannot be better citizen. You may shy, you may speak anything, any slogan, doesn't matter, doesn't mean anything. First, you have to understand what is your country, what is your Bharat, what is your Bharat Mata, who is shout Bharat Mata, what is Bharat Mata. You have to understand that. You have to analyze and read what Bharat Mata is and what nation is, what Bharat is, and what house to is, the soil is, what we are. We have to understand very well, and we can understand only when we concentrate on that. And we don't concentrate on that, forget the books will give you something. The books will give anything. You have to analyze yourself, think yourself, what nature gives you, what your country gives you, and nature gives your country gives to you this like that, and that you have to give to this country, and then you have to go to other countries as well, and then you automatically to nature and God. That is called system. You have to understand system. Computer system is there, legal system is there, medical system is there. Body is a system itself, is a factory itself, is a very big factory, and we are living in this body, and this body is working since you're born, you'll die, in the lifetime it will work. That's what I'm saying. System of country must be understood by you. If you don't understand the country, you can understand anything. We lost our time in past for decades and centuries because we could not understand this country. We could not understand our people. We are welcome everybody from outside. We were very happy that these people are coming as guests, and we used to call guest is God, and that's all irrelevant. Guest is God only few days, not forever. We could not understand that. We used to worship them. We used to treat them as garland. We used to garland them, welcome them. All times the guests are coming. And that happened to lead us to our deterioration that we are today. The beautiful country is all in past times. Go to Mahabharata time, another time, when you say, oh, we were having all type of electronic data, all electronic details, and then we had internet. People used to say we had internet, we have complete missile system and all that. You might be having that time. Nobody knows. I have not seen there's no evidence at all. But you have to see what you have now. If you have lost that, that's your problem. Why did you not? Why cannot protect that one? If you have yours, you have to protect that. Means you could produce science, you could have technology, anything, but you did not have technology to protect that. That's a problem. This is all imaginary or hypothetical now. It doesn't look realistic. Just like you may have evidences over, but it doesn't look realistic. What happened at the time of Krishna, you can do it. That's a fact. It's not a fact. It doesn't appear that it was a fact. How can you justify that? They're facts. They are not facts. They're imagination. You have to analyze that as well. I'm not claiming that is an organization, not a fact. I'm considering that way. Once you consider, like we consider mathematics and physics and chemistry, with a derivation of formulas, but you say assume this and assume that, and let us start this, let's start that, and then we this after certain derivations some result, and that's called evidence. That is called trial value, analytical value. That's what we have. So we have to analyze ourselves, we have to analyze our society, we have to analyze our nation, we have to analyze our public, we have to analyze our audience as well. And we have to analyze our systems and our nation. And once you do that, you really understand your nation. In addition to what you understand the subjects, our syllabus, about your courses, our programs of education, or professions, that is only good for you when you know everything. On top of that, your country first. You may be engineer, you may be doctor, professor, whatever degree are you having, it doesn't mean anything until you know from where you got it. Not physically, mentally, spiritually, you should know what you got and how you got it. That's very important. So I am talking about this. You may ask a question. Yes, I am talking, just making a background for younger people, for those people who are youth who are not keen to know about this country, who are just keen to know for finances or economics. Their economics must go well, and that's only one point criteria every youth has got. My economy should go, my salary should be there, I should do business, I should get money, I should get bungalow, I should get a spouse, I should do this and that, and I should have a good life, comfortable life. Every youth thinks like that, but doesn't know where it comes. Just like in economy, we say economy, what does economy mean? Economics will not define you. He may be novel laureate, may not define economy. Economy you can define because you can understand. An engineer can define. If he just thinks on what economy is, the engineer can define economy. Economics may not define that. I'm not saying economy not define, but economic may not understand true value of economics. Economic doesn't have data only. It doesn't mean just GDP and all that. No, not like that. We have to understand how much we have that God has given us. Just like in economy, we say how much property we have, assets we have. We declare we have this much many crores, but from where it came, that is separate issue. But we have this property with us, and that's called resource. That's called wealth. So what our country got wealth is, this country got this wealth is, we have to measure that, we have to quantify that. And who can quantify that? You think economics can quantify? Economics cannot quantify that. Economics can interpret from that quantification made available to them. So we are engineers, we are those quantity surveys, and those quantified people can understand what quantity is, but economics have not been a subject in engineering, unfortunately, but economics without economics you cannot move. We are taught that we have to take optimum use economy, but we are not told what optimum use it is. It is optimum use of material stresses, or optimum use of money power, or optimum use of natural resources, or available resources, whatever we get. There's so many considerations about it. Each must be economically used. If we are doing some material, means we should take stresses in a way that minimum quantity of material is used, and when minimum quantity of material is used, this means minimum cost will come on the project. And that is what we understand. Same thing applies to our country. Our country itself is a project in itself. It has got a lot of resources. The resources should not be exploited. And if exploited, should be exploited properly for benefit of poor, for benefit of masses, and for benefit of everybody. That's called economics. If one body takes every resource and says, I am owner of this and you're not owner, you have to pay for that, that's nonsense, because everybody is responsible for this country and everybody is on this country. Well, it is a missed. Non-uniform distribution of wealth has been there, but in the start of the system, and that's where started mixed economy, capitalization as the non-capitalization, but now it has gone through some change due to advancement of economy throughout the world, and we are thinking that way, and that has widened gap between poor and rich, and that's not good. That's not acceptable. Poor are getting poorer while rich are getting richer. Haves are getting haves, and the non-haves are not getting anything. Haves means those who are rich, they are called haves, and haves always who are poor like me, who are called, they don't have too much, and there's no haves not. Just understand is haves and haves not. For example, there are so many billionaires, they are haves, and there are so many poor people who live in 1 lakh rupees, it's called haves not. So haves and haves not, gap has widened, it's engulfed, and that is a problem in this country. We have to look after, and once it is done, then we will move in a fast track motion to develop our country. We are not developed it to an extent that expected to deliver post independence, but no matter, it's only 70 years or more for that, and it takes hundreds of years for development, real development in this country. It doesn't take only a few decades only, and sometimes take decades, but keeping new political status of our country, political environment of our country, and democratic and socialism, all that, it's not easy to develop. So we have to understand what economy is. We have to understand what finances are. We have to understand what strength is. We have to understand what we are. We have to understand what Bharat is and what Bharat Mata means and Bharat Pita means. Everything we have to understand. And youth have to understand first at first place, not others, because others have left their time, and seniors have left their time, veterans have left their time, and all those who are middle aged left their time, or they are working to leave their time. And those who are youth, they have a responsibility of future. In each country, it's called youth are responsible for future of a country. Means future coming 10, 20, 30 years, they're responsible. And after that, next generation comes and they're responsible. It's like that. The sequence goes on. Continuation is perpetual motion. Keeps on moving and moving and moving. The same formula applies to all cities of this country. That is, that it must be realized with. If you realize that, you will understand. And for that purpose, I'm just stressing on you that I'm not forcing someone, but I'm trying to convince you that whatever I could not do in my life, I missed due to some reason or whatever reason was there. There were no facilities, there were no sources, there were no available conveniences for everything. Just like now we have every source now is free of cost, and you can make use of that to learn something, to make your knowledge up and top up your knowledge, you can say, and top up and top up and top up your knowledge to the extent, not unlimited extents, you can do that. And once you understand that, you will call a mature persons, good citizens of this country. Don't expect these leaders who are there. They are very good and very brilliant people. They are people much lower than your knowledge scope. They just want to survive in power, but you have no greed to survive in power, because you are honor of this country. Of course, they are honor, but they are having different additional scope in that they want to loot this country. 90% people in politics want to loot this country, take money outside of this country and enjoy there forever. But they don't understand. They don't need that much for their living. Once they have to also leave this world, in that case, that money shall not go with them. They don't understand this simple formula that they have to leave this country free of. They have to go free of every belongings, every ownership. Even this body in which we are staying for so many years, this shall be left here for nothing, for burned or being embedded in ground, graved in. So, my dear gentlemen, why I am talking all this? You will feel bored, of course, I understand. But Constitution of India is very important document, Bharat Savidhaan, which you have to realize that this is for you. For each and every citizen of India is bound by this. Each and every citizen of India is responsible for this. Each and every citizen of this country has a designer, has designed this virtually and liable onto this and punishable by this. Both, because whatever happens due to this constitution, which was not there before independence. There were many laws, and British never did that, because British themselves had only Magna Carta, which is equivalent to charter, and this constitution of this country we call it charter. I call this is a charter of rights, charter of privileges, charter of opportunities, charter of judiciary, charter of executive, charter of legislature, charter of public and charter of institutions, charter of each and every, charter of powers in parliament with a union list, of state list, a constitutional list, a charter of all schedules, and everyone is there. That's all called charters of each and every person of India. So every citizen of India is having granted charters, and their charters are like Constitution of India's power, and under this charter they are further delegated charters, delegated rights, and these are called statutes of Parliament Acts, which are always enacted under this Constitution of India and ambit of preamble of Constitution of India and preambles of Constitution of India, and our scope of mandated by Constitution of India. These scopes are worked out. That is what is required. So you have to understand that what we are going to do, why we are going to do, why not going to do. If you want to make this country better to live, you have to think a lot. First, you have to make yourself better to live. When you make yourself better to live by doing hard work, by doing honest work and everything, and by taking this country to heights in scientific way, you will help country in each other direction. You have to each other. Money is one criteria, but work is another criteria. Achievement is another criteria. You may get money, of course, when you do something, but don't confine yourself to money achievement only, because money achievement is one part of life. It's not every part of life. Destiny is life. Your proposal is life. Your aim is life. Your destination and your generality and personality is life. You have to say, I have to make myself reliable, and I have to make this country reliable. And reliability means you have to keep yourself safe, you have to keep yourself serviceable, you have to keep yourself durable. These three combinations gives you reliable coefficients. For example, I'm saying is, I am safe means I have to work safe, I have to keep my country safe. Wherever I do, whatever I do must be within safe limits, should not harm someone else, should not harm me itself. Plus, what is general? What I say, it is serviceable. Whatever I am doing should be serviceable. Whatever I am getting should be serviceable. Means wherever we serve something, it should be good in every respect. and that's called durability or durable. And durable means how far this work can go, how far my service can go in a way it was intended to go, and that is called that is called durability. Because in our concrete or material, that we make it durable means make it to a distant server until it doesn't deteriorate or it doesn't fail or collapse. That was decided for and intended for. We have considered your designs, and these three parameters, these three qualifications, these three quantums values like safety plus serviceability plus durability equal reliability. And my family should be reliable, I should be reliable, my neighbor should be reliable, my country should be reliable, and all people should be reliable. That's called reliability. It's the acquisition of mathematics, the consideration of technology, and consideration of understanding, that you must understand that. And then I would say, let's go back to talk of in continuation of Constitution, Article 101. I'll come back to this discussion after a few articles reading, and I'll talk in this language continuously as well as in Hindi language to some extent. Let us talk about another one, and that is Article 101. No person, this is called disqualification of members, parliament members. No person shall be member of both houses of parliament, and provision shall be made in parliament by law for vacation by a person who is chosen member of both houses of his seat in one houses or other. Again, no person shall be a member of both houses of parliament, and provision shall be made by parliament by law for vacation by a person who is chosen a member of both houses of his seat in one house. He is chosen as a member of both houses of a seat in one house or other. This is part 1 of this. 102, part 2. No person shall be a member both houses of parliament and of a house of legislature of a state. And if a person is chosen a member both of parliament and of house of legislature of a state, at the expiration of such period, may be specified in rules made by president, that person's seat in parliament shall become vacant unless he has previously resigned his seat in legislature of state. 3. If a member of either house of parliament becomes subject to any of these qualifications mentioned in clause 1 of clause 2 of Article 102, resigns his seat by writing under his head, addressed to chairman, resigns his seat by writing under his hand, addressed to chairman or speaker as case may be, and his resignation is accepted by chairman or speaker as case may be, his seat shall thereupon become vacant, provided that in case of any resignation referred to in subclause B, if some from information received or otherwise, and after making such inquiry as it thinks fit, chairman or speaker as case may be, is satisfied that such resignation is not voluntary or genuine, he shall not accept such resignation. 4. If for a period of 60 days a member of either house of parliament is without permission of house absent from all meetings thereof, house may declare his seat vacant, provided that in computing said period of 60 days no account shall be taken of any period during which house is prorogued or is adjourned for more than 4 consecutive days. 102. So let's talk of 101 in Hindi before jumping to another one. Let's talk that, and that is सदस्यों की निर्हरताएं 101 कोई व्यक्ति संसद के दोनों सदनों का सदस्य नहीं होगा, और जो व्यक्ति दोनों सदनों का सदस्य चुन लिया जाता है उसके एक या दूसरे सदन के स्थान को रिक्त करने के लिए संसद विधि द्वारा उपबंध करेगी। तो कोई व्यक्ति संसद और किसी राज्य के विधानमंडल के किसी सदन दोनों का सदस्य नहीं होगा, और यदि कोई व्यक्ति संसद और किसी राज्य के विधानमंडल के किसी सदन दोनों का सदस्य चुन लिया जाता है तो ऐसी अवधि को समाप्ति के लिए ऐसी अवधि की समाप्ति के पश्चात जो राष्ट्रपति द्वारा बनाए गए नियमों में विनिर्दिष्ट की जाए, संसद में ऐसे व्यक्ति का स्थान रिक्त हो जाएगा। यदि उसने राज्य के विधानमंडल में अपने स्थान को पहले ही नहीं त्याग दिया है। यदि संसद के किसी सदन का सदस्य अनुच्छेद 102 के खंड 1 या खंड 2 में वर्णित किसी निहरता से ग्रस्त हो जाता है या यथास्थिति सभापति या अध्यक्ष को संबोधित अपने हस्ताक्षर सहित लेख द्वारा अपने स्थान का त्याग कर देता है और उसका त्याग पत्र भी यथास्थिति सभापति या अध्यक्ष द्वारा स्वीकार कर लिया जाता है, वो ऐसा होने पर उसका स्थान रिक्त हो जाएगा। परंतु खंड 6 में निर्दिष्ट त्याग पत्र को की दशा में यदि प्राप्त जानकारी से अन्यथा और ऐसी जांच करने के पश्चात जो वो ठीक समझे यथास्थिति सभापति या अध्यक्ष का यह समाधान हो जाता है कि ऐसा त्याग पत्र स्वैच्छिक या असली नहीं है, तो वह ऐसे त्याग पत्र को स्वीकार नहीं करेगा। यदि संसद के किसी सदन का कोई सदस्य 60 दिन की अवधि तक सदन की अनुज्ञा के बिना उसके सभी अधिवेशनों में अनुपस्थित रहता है, तो सदन उसके स्थान को रिक्त घोषित कर सकेगा। परंतु 60 दिन की उक्त अवधि की संग करने में किसी ऐसी अवधि को हिसाब में नहीं लिया जाएगा जिसके दौरान सदन सत्रावसित या निरंतर 4 से अधिक दिनों के लिए स्थगित रहता है। आर्टिकल 101। अभी हम चलते हैं आर्टिकल 101 इंग्लिश 102 डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन ऑफ मेंबर्स 102 A person shall be disqualified for being chosen as and for being a member of either House of Parliament. A. If he holds any office of profit under Government of India or Government of any state, other than an office declared by Parliament by law not to disqualify its holder. B. If he is of unsound mind and stands so declared by a competent court. C. If he is an undischarged insolvent. D. If he is not a citizen of India or has voluntarily acquired citizenship of a foreign country, foreign state, is under any acknowledgement of allegiance or adherence to a foreign state. If he is so disqualified by or under any law made by Parliament, and explanation is, for purpose of this clause, a person shall not be deemed to hold an office of profit under Government of India or Government of any state by reason only that he is a minister either of the Union or for such state. Once again, explanation, for purpose of this clause, a person shall not be deemed to hold an office of profit under Government of India or Government of any state by reason only that he is a member either for the Union or for state. A person shall be disqualified for being a member of either House of Parliament if he is so disqualified under 10th schedule. Article 102 हिंदी। कोई व्यक्ति संसद के किसी सदन का सदस्य चुने जाने के लिए या और सदस्य होने के लिए निर्हर्षित होगा यदि वह भारत सरकार के या किसी राज्य की सरकार के अधीन ऐसे पद को छोड़कर जिसको धारण करने वाले का निरस्त न होना संसद के विधि द्वारा घोषित या कोई लाभ का पद धारण करता है। यदि वह विकृत है और सक्षम न्यायालय की ऐसी घोषणा विद्यमान है, यदि वह अनुमोचित दिवालिया है, यदि वह भारत का नागरिक नहीं है, यदि वह भारत का नागरिक नहीं है और उसने किसी विदेशी राज्य की नागरिकता समीक्षा से अर्जित कर ली है या वह किसी विदेशी राज्य के प्रति निष्ठा या अनुशक्ति को आविष्कार किए है, यदि वह संसद द्वारा बनाई गई किसी विधि द्वारा या उसके अधीन इस प्रकार निर्हित कर दिया जाता है। स्पष्टीकरण है, इस खंड के प्रयोजन के लिए कोई व्यक्ति केवल उस कारण भारत सरकार के या किसी राज्य की सरकार के अधीन लाभ का पद धारण करने वाला नहीं समझा जाएगा। वह संघ का कोई ऐसा राज्य का मंत्री है। कोई व्यक्ति संसद के किसी सदन का सदस्य होने के लिए निर्हित रहेगा और यदि वह 10वीं अनुसूचित के अधीन इस प्रकार निर्हित हो जाता है। चलते हैं आर्टिकल 103। आर्टिकल 103 yes. The decision on questions as to disqualifications of members. If any question arises as to whether a member of a House of Parliament has become subject to any of these qualifications mentioned in clause 1 of Article 102, question shall be referred for decision of President and his decision shall be final. Before giving any decision on any such question, President shall obtain opinion of Election Commission and shall act according to such opinion. 103। यदि यह प्रश्न उठता है कि संसद के किसी सदस्य का कोई सदस्य अनुच्छेद 102 के खंड 1 में वर्णित किसी निहरता से ग्रस्त हो गया है या नहीं, तो वह प्रश्न राष्ट्रपति को विनिश्चय के लिए निर्देशित किया जाएगा और उसका विनिश्चय अंतिम होगा। ऐसे किसी प्रश्न पर विनिश्चय करने के पहले राष्ट्रपति निर्वाचन आयोग को राय लेगा और ऐसे राय के अनुसार कार्य करेगा। 104 If a person sits or votes as a member of either House of Parliament before he has complied with requirements of Article 99 or when he knows that he is not qualified or that he is disqualified for membership thereof or that he is prohibited from so doing by provisions of any law made by Parliament, he shall be liable in respect of each day on which he so sits or votes to a penalty of 500 rupees or to be covered as a debt due to Union. 104 यदि संसद के किसी सदन में कोई व्यक्ति अनुच्छेद 99 की अपेक्षाओं का अनुपालन करने से पहले या यह जानते हुए कि मैं उसकी सदस्यता के लिए आहरित नहीं हूँ या निर्धारित कर दिया गया हूँ या संसद द्वारा बनाई गई किसी विधि के उपबंधों द्वारा ऐसा करने से प्रतिष्ठित कर दिया गया हूँ, सदस्य के रूप में बैठता है या मत देता है। बैठता है, मत देता है, एकदम यदि सही है ना 104। यदि संसद के किसी सदन में किसी व्यक्ति अनुच्छेद 99 के अधीन शपथ लेने करने से पहले होता है, अच्छा, व्यक्ति अनुच्छेद 99 की अपेक्षाओं को अनुपालन करने से पहले यह जानते हुए कि मैं उसकी सदस्यता के लिए आहरित नहीं हूँ या निर्मित कर दिया गया हूँ, पर संसद द्वारा बनाई गई किसी विधि के उपबंधों द्वारा ऐसा करने के प्रतिषिध कर दिया गया हूँ, सदस्य के रूप में बैठता है या मत देता है या प्रत्येक दिन के लिए जब वह इस प्रकार बैठता है या मत देता है 500 रुपये की राशि का भागी होगा जो संघ को देश ऋण के रूप में वसूल की जाएगी। आर्टिकल 105 यार क्यों तंग कर रहे हैं। 105 subject to provisions of this constitution and to rules and standards, standing orders regulating procedure of parliament, there shall be freedom of speech in parliament. No member of parliament shall be liable to any proceedings in any court in respect of anything said or any vote given by him in parliament or any committee thereof, and no person shall be so liable in respect of publication by or under authority of either House of Parliament or any report papers, boards or precedents. 3. In other respects, powers, privileges and immunities of each House of Parliament and of members and the committees of each House shall be such as may from time to time be defined by Parliament, by law, and until so defined shall be those of that House and of its members and committees immediately before coming into force. Section 15 of Constitution, 44th Amendment, 1978. Provisions of clause 1, 2 and 3 as above shall apply in relation to persons who by virtue of this constitution have right to speak in and in otherwise and otherwise too. Otherwise to take part in proceedings of a House of Parliament or any committee thereof as they apply in relation to members Parliament. 105 105 हिंदी। इस संविधान के उपबंधों और संसद की प्रक्रिया का विनिमय करने वाले नियमों और स्थायी आदेशों के अधीन रहते हुए संसद में वाक स्वातंत्र होगा। संसद में या उसकी किसी समिति में संसद के किसी सदस्य द्वारा कही गई बात, किसी बात या दिए गए किसी मत के संबंध में उसके विरुद्ध किसी न्यायालय में कोई कार्यवाही नहीं की जाएगी और किसी व्यक्ति के विरुद्ध संसद के किसी सदन के प्राधिकार द्वारा या उसके अधीन किसी प्रतिवेदन पत्र मतों या कार्रवाई के प्रकाशन के संबंध में इस प्रकार की कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की जाएगी। अन्य बातों में संसद के प्रत्येक सदन की और प्रत्येक सदन के सदस्यों और समितियों की शक्तियां, विशेषाधिकार और उन्मुक्तियां ऐसी होंगी जो संसद समय समय पर विधि द्वारा परिनिश्चय करे और जब तक वह इस प्रकार परिनिश्चय नहीं की जाती है तब तक वही होंगी जो संविधान 40वां संशोधन अधिनियम 1978 की धारा 15 के प्रवर्तित होने से ठीक पहले सदन की और उसके सदस्यों और समितियों की थी। 4. जिस व्यक्ति को इस संविधान के आधार पर संसद के किसी सदन या उसकी किसी समिति में बोलने का और उसकी कार्रवाई में अन्यथा भाग लेने का अधिकार है, उसके संबंध में खंड 1 और 2 और खंड 3 के उपबंध उसी प्रकार लागू होंगे जिस प्रकार से संसद के सदस्यों के संबंध में लागू होते हैं। 106 salaries and allowances of members। 106 Members of either House of Parliament shall be entitled to receive such salaries and allowances as may from time to time be determined by Parliament by law, and until provision of that respect is so made, allowances at such rates and upon such conditions are as were immediately before commencement of this Constitution applicable in case of members of Constituent Assembly of Dominion of India। 106 106 साहब आइए। 106 संसद के प्रत्येक सदन के सदस्य ऐसे वेतन और भत्ते जिन्हें संसद समय समय पर विधि द्वारा अवधारित करे और जब तक ऐसे इस संबंध में इस प्रकार उपबंध नहीं किया जाता है तब तक ऐसे भत्ते ऐसी दरों से और ऐसी शर्तों पर जो भारत डोमिनियन की संविधान सभा के सदस्यों को इस संविधान के प्रारंभ से ठीक पहले लागू की प्राप्त करने के हकदार होंगे। 107 Legislative Procedure 1071 Subject to provisions of Article 109 and 117, the respective money bills and other financial bills, a bill may be originated in either House of Parliament. 2. Subject to provisions of Article 108 and 109, a bill shall not be deemed to have been passed by House of Parliament unless it has been agreed to by both houses, either without amendment or with such amendments only as agreed by both houses. 3. A bill pending in Parliament shall not lapse by reason of prorogation of House. Prorogation. A bill pending in Council of States which has not been passed by House of People shall not lapse on dissolution of House of People. 5th, a bill which is pending in House of People or which having been passed by House of People is pending in Council of States shall be subject to provisions of this Article 108 be lapse on dissolution of House of People. So this is 107. Let's take Hindi version of this. हिंदी वर्षन 107 विधि प्रक्रिया धन विधेयकों और अन्य विधेयकों के संबंध में अनुच्छेद 109 और अनुच्छेद 117 के उपबंधों के अधीन रहते हुए कोई विधेयक संसद के किसी भी सदन में आरंभ हो सकेगा। अनुच्छेद 108 और अनुच्छेद 109 के उपबंधों के अधीन रहते हुए कोई विधेयक संसद के सदनों द्वारा तब तक पारित किया गया नहीं समझा जाएगा जब तक संशोधन के बिलों या केवल ऐसे संशोधनों सहित जिन पर दोनों सदन सहमत हो गए हैं उस पर दोनों सदन सहमत नहीं हो जाते या संसद में लंबित विधेयकों सदनों के सत्रावसान के कारण व्यपगत नहीं होगा। राज्यसभा में लंबित विधेयक जिसको लोकसभा पारित नहीं किया है लोकसभा के वेतन पर व्यय नहीं होगा। कोई विधेयक जो लोकसभा में लंबित है या जो लोकसभा द्वारा पारित कर दिया गया है और राज्यसभा में लंबित है अनुच्छेद 108 के उपबंध के अधीन रहते हुए लोकसभा के विघटन पर व्यापक हो जाएगा। 107 नाउ 108 लेट्स गो टू 108 If after a bill has been passed by one house and transmitted to other house, a bill is rejected by other house or other houses have finally disagreed as to amendments to be made in this bill or more than 6 months elapsed from date of reception of bill by either house without bill being passed by it. President may, unless bill has elapsed by reason of a dissolution of House of People, notify House by message, if they are sitting or by people, notification if they are not sitting. His intention to summon them to meet in a joint sitting for the purpose of deliberating and voting on bill, provided that nothing in this clause shall apply to a money bill. In recalling any such period of 6 months as is referred to in clause 1, no account shall be taken of any period during which house referred to in subclause C of the clause is prorogued or adjourned for more than 4 consecutive days. 3. Where President has under clause 1 notified his intention of House to meet summoning houses to meet in a joint sitting, neither house shall proceed further with bill, but President may at any time after date of his notification summon houses to meet in a joint sitting for purpose specified in notification, and if he does not, if he does so, houses shall meet accordingly. That is, for now, if at any joint sitting of houses bill with such amendments, if any, as are agreed to in joint sitting is passed by a majority of total number of members by both houses present and voting, it shall be deemed to for purpose of this constitution have been passed by both houses. This is provided that at a joint sitting, if bill having been passed by one house has not been passed by other house with amendments and returned to house in which it originated, no amendment shall be proposed to the bill either either will other than such amendments, if any, as are made. Both bill other than such amendments of bill are made necessary by delay in passage of bill. B. If bill has been so passed and returned, only such amendments as aforesaid shall be proposed to bill, and such other amendments as are relevant or to matters with respect to which houses have now cut out, and decision of person presiding as to amendments which are which are manageable, and decision of person presiding as to the amendments of which are admissible under this clause shall be final. A joint sitting may be held under this article and a bill passed thereat, notwithstanding that a dissolution of house of both people and hence vice entrance, since once again a joint sitting may be held under this article and a bill passed thereat, notwithstanding that a dissolution of house of people has intervened since President notified his intention to summon houses to meet at in therein. It's art. It's art. A money bill सॉरी तो 108 इसमें जाना है, हिंदी में जाना है 108 108। यदि किसी विधेयक के एक सदन द्वारा पारित किए जाने और दूसरे सदन को पारित करने किए जाने के पश्चात दूसरे सदन द्वारा विधेयक अस्वीकार कर दिया जाता है, या विधेयक में किसी जाने वाले संशोधन के बारे में दोनों सदन अंतिम रूप से असहमत हो गए हैं, या दूसरे सदन को विधेयक प्राप्त होने की तारीख है उसके द्वारा विधेयक पारित किए बिना 6 माह से अधिक बीत गए हैं, तो उस दशा की सिवाय जिसमें लोकसभा का विघटन होने के कारण विधेयक व्यापक हो गया है, राष्ट्रपति विधेयक पर विचार विमर्श करके और उसे मस्त उस दशा के सिवाय जिसमें लोकसभा का विघटन होने के कारण विधेयक व्यापक हो गया है, राष्ट्रपति विधेयक पर विचार विमर्श करके और मत देने के प्रयोजन के लिए सदनों का संयुक्त बैठक में अधिवेशन होने के लिए एक आहूत करने के अपने आशय की सूचना देंगे। यदि वह बैठक में है तो संदेश द्वारा, यदि बैठक में नहीं है तो लोग आधी सूचना देगा। परंतु इस खंड की कोई बात धन विधेयक को लागू नहीं तो होगी। 6 मास की ऐसी अवधि की गणना करने में जो खंड 1 में निर्देशित है, किसी ऐसी अवधि का हिसाब में नहीं लिया जाएगा जिसमें उक्त खंड के उपखंड गैट में निर्देशित सदन सत्र वासित या निरंतर 4 से अधिक दिनों के लिए स्थगित कर दिया जाता है। 3, यदि राष्ट्रपति के खंड 1 के अधीन सदनों को संयुक्त बैठक में अधिवेशित होने के लिए आहुति करने के पश्चात अपने आशय की सूचना दे दी है तो कोई भी सदन विधेयक पर आगे कार्यवाही नहीं करेगा। किंतु राष्ट्रपति अपनी अधिसूचना की तारीख के पश्चात किसी समय सदनों की अधिसूचनाओं में विनिर्देशित प्रयोजन के लिए संयुक्त बैठक में अधिवेशित होने के लिए आहुति कर सकेगा। और यदि वह ऐसा करता है तो सदन तदनुसार अधिवेशन होगा। यदि सदन की संयुक्त बैठक में विधेयक ऐसे संशोधन सहित यदि कोई हो, इसको सामूहिक सरकार के अधीन लाए हैं। यदि सदनों की संयुक्त बैठक में विधेयक ऐसे संशोधनों सहित यदि कोई हो जिस पर संयुक्त बैठक में सहमति हो जाती है, दोनों सदनों के उपस्थित और मत देने वाले सदस्यों की कुल संख्या के बहुमत द्वारा पारित हो जाते हैं, तो इस संविधान के प्रयोजन के लिए वह दोनों सदनों द्वारा पारित किया गया समझा जाएगा। फिर एक बार, यदि सदनों की संयुक्त बैठक में विधेयक ऐसे संशोधनों सहित यदि कोई हो जिसमें संयुक्त बैठक में सहमति हो जाती है, दोनों सदनों के उपस्थित और मत देने वाले सदस्यों की कुल संख्या के बहुमत द्वारा पारित हो जाता है, तो इसे संविधान के प्रयोजनों के लिए वह दोनों सदनों द्वारा पारित किया गया समझा जाएगा। परंतु संयुक्त बैठक में यदि विधेयक एक सदन से पारित किए जाने के दूसरी अवमानना स्वीकार यदि विधेयक एक सदन में पारित किए गए सदन द्वारा संशोधन सहित वर्ष नहीं किया गया था, परंतु संयुक्त बैठक में यदि विधेयक एक सदन से पारित किए जाने पर दूसरे सदन द्वारा संशोधनों सहित पारित नहीं कर दिया गया है और उस सदन को जिसमें उसका आरंभ हुआ था लौटा नहीं दिया गया है, तो ऐसे संशोधनों से भिन्न यदि कोई जो विधेयक के पारित होने में देरी के कारण आवश्यक हो गए हैं, विधेयक में कोई और संशोधन प्रस्तावित नहीं किया जाएगा। यदि विधेयक इस प्रकार पारित कर दिया गया है और लौटा दिया गया है, तो विधेयक में केवल पूर्वोक्त संशोधन और ऐसे अंत संशोधनीय यदि विधेयक एक प्रकार पारित कर दिया गया है, लौटा दिया गया है, तो विधेयक में केवल पूर्वोक्त संशोधन ऐसे अन्य संशोधन जो उन विषयों से सुसंगत हैं जिन पर सदनों की सहमति नहीं हुई है प्रस्तावित किए जाएंगे, और पीठासीन व्यक्ति को इस बारे में विनिश्चित अंतिम होगा कि कौन से संशोधन इस उद्देदार है। और पीठासीन व्यक्ति तो इस बारे में विनिश्चित अंतिम होगा कि कौन सा संशोधित इस खंड के अधीन ग्राह्य है। सदनों की संयुक्त बैठक में अधिवेशन होने के लिए आहूत करने के अपने इस आशय के राष्ट्रपति की सूचना के पश्चात लोकसभा का विभाजन बीच में ही हो जाने पर भी हम अनुच्छेद एक के सदनों का संयुक्त बैठक में अधिवेशन होने के लिए आहुति करने के अपने आशय की राष्ट्रपति को सूचना के पश्चात लोकसभा का विभाजन बीच में हो जाने पर भी इस अनुच्छेद के अधीन संयुक्त बैठक हो सकेगी और उसमें विधेयक पारित हो सकेगा। 109 हो गया 1010 109 कौन सा पढ़े थे पहले? A money bill shall not be introduced in Council of States after money bill has been passed by houses. By House of People shall be transmitted to a Council of States for its recommendations, and Council of States shall, within a period of 14 days from date of its hmm. Okay, पढ़ते हैं इस द्वारा पढ़ते हैं। I'm reading again 109 for your information because there's some confusion with this. 109, let us read this here. 109 first let's read in English. A money bill shall not be introduced in Council of States after a money bill has been passed by a House of Parliament, House of People. It shall be transmitted to Council of States for its recommendations, and Council of States shall, within a period of 14 days from date of its receipt of bill, return bill to House of People within its recommendations, and House of People may thereupon either accept or reject all or any of recommendations of Council of State. If Houses of People if House of People accept any of recommendations of Council of States, money bills shall be deemed to have been passed by both houses within amendments recommended by Council of States and accepted by Houses of People. If House of People does not accept any of the recommendations of Council of States, money bill shall be deemed to have been passed by both houses of Parliament, in form of which it was passed by House of People without any of amendments recommended by Council of States. If money bill passed by House of People and transmitted to Council of States for recommendations is not returned to House of People within said period of 14 days, it shall be assumed to have been passed by both houses at expiration of said period in form in which it was issued by House of People. 109 Hindi. धन विधेयक राज्यसभा में पुनर्स्थापित नहीं किया जाएगा। धन विधेयक लोकसभा द्वारा पारित किए जाने के पश्चात राज्यसभा को उसकी सिफारिशों के लिए प्रोषित किया जाएगा और राज्यसभा विधेयक की प्राप्ति की तारीख से 14 दिन की अवधि के भीतर विधेयक को अपनी सिफारिशों सहित लोकसभा को लौटा देगी और ऐसा होने पर लोकसभा राज्यसभा की सभी या किन्हीं सिफारिशों को अस्वीकार कर सकेगी। यदि लोकसभा राज्यसभा की किसी सिफारिश को स्वीकार कर लेती है तो धन विधेयक राज्यसभा द्वारा सिफारिश किए गए और लोकसभा द्वारा स्वीकार किए गए संशोधनों सहित दोनों सदनों द्वारा पारित किया गया समझा जाएगा। यदि लोकसभा राज्यसभा की किसी भी सिफारिश को स्वीकार नहीं करती है तो धन विधेयक राज्यसभा द्वारा सिफारिश किए गए किसी संशोधन के बिना दोनों सदनों द्वारा उस रूप में पारित किया गया समझा जाएगा जिसमें वह लोकसभा द्वारा पारित किया गया था। यदि लोकसभा द्वारा पारित और राज्यसभा की उसकी सिफारिश के लिए पारित धन विधेयक उक्त 14 दिन की अवधि के भीतर लोकसभा को नहीं लौटाया जाता है तो उक्त अवधि की समाप्ति पर वह दोनों सदनों द्वारा उस रूप में पारित किया गया समझा जाएगा जिसमें वह लोकसभा द्वारा पारित किया गया था। 110 110 110 definition of money bill 110 For purpose of this chapter, a bill shall be deemed to be a money bill if it contains only provisions dealing with all or any of following matters: A. Imposition, abolition, remission, alteration or regulation of any tax. B. Regulation of borrowing of money or giving of any guarantee by government of India or amendments of law with respect to any financial obligations undertaken or to be undertaken by government of India. C. Custody of consolidated fund or contingencies fund of India, or payment of monies into or withdrawal of monies from any such fund. Appropriation of money out of consolidated fund of India, declaring of any expenditure charged on consolidated fund of India, or increasing or amount of any such expenditure. The receipt of money on account of consolidated fund, receipt of money on account of consolidated fund of India or public account of India, or custody or issue of such money, or audit of accounts of union or of states, or any money incidental to any of matters specified in subclause above A to F. A bill shall not be deemed to have been to be in money bill form. A bill shall not be deemed to be a money bill by reason only that it provides for imposition of fines or other pecuniary penalties, or for demand or payment of fees for licenses or fees for services rendered, or by reason that it provides for imposition, abolition, remission, alteration or regulation. Okay. A bill shall not be deemed to be a money bill by reason only that it provides for imposition of fines or other pecuniary penalties or for demand of payment of fees for licenses or fees for services rendered by or by reason that it pro- provides provides for imposition, abolition, remission, alteration, or alter or hmm. Then, if any question arises whether a bill is money bill or not, decision of Speaker of House of People thereon shall be final. There shall be endorsed on every money bill when it is transmitted to Council of States under Article 109 and when it is presented to President for assent under Article 111. Certificate of Speaker of House of People signed by him that it is a money bill. 111. Let us finish 1 then first in other language. इस अध्याय के प्रयोजन के लिए कोई विधेयक धन विधेयक समझा जाएगा यदि उसके केवल निम्नलिखित सभी या किन्हीं विषयों में संबंधित उपबंध हैं, अर्थात किसी कर का अधिरोपण, उत्पादन, उत्साधन, परिहार, परिवर्तन या विनियम, भारत सरकार द्वारा धन उधार लेने का या कोई प्रत्याभूति देने के विनिमय अथवा भारत सरकार द्वारा अपने ऊपर ली गई या ली जाने वाली किसी वित्तीय बाध्यताओं से संबंधित विधि का संशोधन, भारत की संचित निधि या आकस्मिकता निधि की अभिरक्षा, ऐसे किसी निधि में धन जमा करना या उसमें से धन निकालना, भारत की सचिव निधि में संचित निधि में से धन का विनियोग, किसी व्यय की भर्त्सना, किसी व्यय की भारत को संबोधित निधि पर भारत की उद्घोषणा न होने से किसी व्यक्ति को किसी व्यय को भारत की संचित निधि पर भारतीय व्यय घोषित करना या ऐसे धन की अभिरक्षा या उसका निर्गमन करना अथवा या करना, भारत की संचित निधि या भारत के लोक लेखे मुद्दे धन प्राप्त करना अथवा ऐसे धन की अभिरक्षा या भारत की प्रतिनिधि संचित निधि पर या भारत के लोक लेखा मुद्दे धन प्राप्त करना अथवा ऐसे धन की अभिरक्षा या उसका निर्गमन करना। उपखंड कै से उपखंड चय में विनिर्देशित किसी विषय का अनुसंधिक को So let's go in another term that is that's 111. Let's go to okay. कोई विधेयक केवल इस कारण धन विधेयक नहीं बन समझा जाएगा कि वह जुर्मानों या अन्य धनीय क्षतियों के अधिरोहण का अथवा अनुज्ञापत्तियों के लिए फीसों की या की गई सेवाओं के लिए फीसों को मांगा करता था। उनके स्थिति का फिर पढ़ते हैं। यदि कोई विधेयक केवल इस कारण धन विधेयक नहीं समझा जाएगा कि वह जुर्मानों और जुर्मानों या अन्य धनीय शक्तियों के अधिरोपण का अथवा अनुज्ञापतियों के लिए फांसी की या की गई सेवाओं के लिए फीसों की मांगे का या अर्थशास्त्रियों द्वारा चेक करते हैं। चेक कोई विधेयक केवल इस कारण धन विधेयक नहीं समझा जाएगा कि वह जुर्मानों या अन्य धनीय शस्त्र या धोरण को अथवा अनुज्ञप्ति के लिए फीसों की या की गई सेवाओं के लिए फीसों की मांग का या उनके संसद का उपबंध करता है, अथवा इस कारण धन विधेयक नहीं समझा जाएगा कि यह किसी स्थानीय प्राधिकारी या निकाय द्वारा स्थायी प्रयोजन के लिए किसी कर के अधिरोपण, उत्साधन, परिहार, परिवर्तन या विनिमय का उपबंध करता है। यदि यह प्रश्न उठता है कि कोई विधेयक धन विधेयक था या नहीं है या नहीं, तो उस पर लोकसभा के अध्यक्ष की विनिश्चितता अंतिम होगी। हाँ जी, धन विधेयक जब धन विधेयक अनुच्छेद 109 के अधीन राज्यसभा को पारित किया जाता है और जब वह अनुच्छेद 111 के अधीन अनुमति के लिए राष्ट्रपति के समक्ष प्रस्तुत किया जाता है, तब प्रत्येक धर्म विशेषज्ञ धन विधेयक पर लोकसभा में के अध्यक्ष के उत्साह या परिणाम है। धन विधेयक पर लोकसभा के अध्यक्ष के हस्ताक्षर सहित यह प्रमाण प्रदर्शित किया जाता है कि यह धन विधेयक है। जब कोई व्यक्ति 111 जब कोई व्यक्ति when a bill has been presented is 111 when a bill has been presented passed when it has been passed by House of Parliament, it shall be by Houses of Parliament, it shall be presented per President, and President shall declare either that he assents to bill or that withholds assent therefrom, provided that President may as soon as possible after presentation to him of bill for assent return bill if it's not a money bill to Houses with a message requesting that they will reconsider this bill or any specified provisions thereof, and in particular will consider desirability of introducing any such amendments as he may recommend conversation. Right. It's okay. If it's not money bill to Houses with a message requesting that they will reconsider bill or any specified provisions thereof, and in particular will consider desirability of introducing any such amendments as he may recommend in his message, and when a bill is so returned, the Houses shall reconsider. When a bill is so returned, the Houses shall reconsider bill accordingly, and if bill is passed again by Houses with or without amendment and presented to President for assent, President shall not withhold assent therefrom. 111 in the तो बहुत बोरिंग है, तो बोरिंग है तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा ना, कभी समझाएगा। बोरिंग है, ये सब्जेक्ट बोरिंग ही होते हैं। जब कोई विधेयक संसद के सदनों द्वारा पारित कर दिया गया है तब वह राष्ट्रपति के समक्ष प्रस्तुत किया जाएगा और राष्ट्रपति घोषित करेगा कि वह विधेयक पर अनुमति देता है या नहीं देता है, रोक देता है। परंतु राष्ट्रपति अनुमति के लिए अपने समक्ष विधेयक प्रस्तुत किए जाने के पश्चात यथाशीघ्र उस विधेयक को, यदि वह धन विधेयक नहीं है, तो सदनों को इस संदेश के साथ लौटा सकेगा कि वह विधेयक पर या उस किसी विनिर्देशीय बंदों पर पुनर्विचार करें और विशेषतया किन्हीं ऐसे संशोधनों के पुनर्स्थापन की वांछनीयता पर विचार करें जिनकी उसे अपने संदेश में सिफारिशें की हैं। और जब विधेयक इस प्रकार लौटा दिया जाता है कि तब सदन विधेयक पर तदनुसार पुनर्विचार करेंगे और यदि विधेयक सिफारिश किया और जब विधेयक इस प्रकार लौटा दिया जाता है तो सदन विधेयक पर तदनुसार पुनर्विचार करेंगे और यदि विधेयक सदनों द्वारा संशोधन सहित या उसके बिना फिर से पारित कर दिया जाता है और राष्ट्रपति के समक्ष अनुमति के लिए प्रस्तुत किया जाता है तो राष्ट्रपति उस पर अनुमति नहीं रुकेगा। 112 प्रोसीजर इन फाइनेंशियल मैटर्स। प्रोसीजर्स आ गए, कितना हो गया देखते हैं। सो इट इज अबाउट 1 hour और 16। एक और पढ़ लेते हैं, उसको बात करते हैं। ओके, 112 President shall, in respect of every financial year, cause to be laid before both houses of Parliament a statement of estimated receipts and expenditures of Government of India for that year. In this part, referred to as annual financial statement. Estimates of expenditures embodied in annual financial statement shall show separately sums required to meet expenditure prescribed by Constitution or expenditure charged upon Consolidated Fund of India and sums required to meet other expenditures proposed to be made from Consolidated Fund of India. Shall distinguish expenditure on revenue account on other expenditures. Foreign expenditure shall be expenditure related on Consolidated Fund or state. Emoluments and allowances of President and other expenditures relating to his office. Salaries and allowances of Chairman and Deputy Chairman of Council of States and Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Houses of People. Debt charges for which Government of India is liable, including interest, sinking fund charges and redemption charges, and other expenditure relating to raising of loans and services and redemption of debt. Salaries, allowances, and pensions payable to or in respect of judges of Supreme Courts. Pensions payable to or in respect of judges of Federal Court. Pensions payable to or in respect of judges of Federal Court. Pensions payable to or in respect of judges of any high court which exercise jurisdiction in relevance to any area included in territory of India or which is at a time Anyway, pensions payable to or in respect of judges of any high court which exercises jurisdiction in relation to any area including in territory of India or which at a time before commencement of the Constitution exercise jurisdiction in relation to any area included in Governor's province of Dominion of India. कितना लंबा लिखा है? Pension payable to or in respect of judges of any high court which exercise jurisdiction in relation to any areas included in territories of territories of India in or which at any time before commencement of this constitution exercised jurisdiction in relation to any area included in governance, uh, okay, governance province of Dominion of India, salary allowances and pensions payable in or respect. Hmm. Salaries, allowances, and pension payable to or in respective time. Okay. Any sum required to satisfy any judgment, decree, or award of any court or arbitral tribunal. Any other expenditure that is declared by this Constitution or by Parliament by law to be charged. So after this 113, I'll read 112 from Hindi and then we'll talk. राष्ट्रपति प्रत्येक वित्तीय विधेयक के संबंध में दोनों सदनों के समक्ष भारत सरकार की उस वर्ष के लिए परकालिक प्राप्तियों और व्यय का विवरण रखवाएगा, जिसे इस भाग में वार्षिक वित्तीय विवरण कहा गया है। वार्षिक वित्तीय विवरण में दिए हुए प्रकल्प में इस संविधान में भारत की संचित निधि पर भारत की व्यय के रूप में वर्णित व्यय की पूर्ति के लिए अपेक्षित राशियां और भारत का संचित निधि में से किसी जाने के लिए प्रस्तावित अन्य व्यय के पूर्ति के लिए अपेक्षित राशियां पृथक पृथक दिखाई जाएंगी। जो राजस्व लेखे होने वाले व्यय का अन्य रुपयों से भेंट किया जाएगा। फिर भारत की संचित निधि में से किए जाने के बाद प्रस्तावित अन्य व्यय की पूर्ति के लिए अपेक्षित राशियां पृथक पृथक दिखाई जाएंगी और राजस्व लेने वाले व्यय का अन्य व्यय से भेद किया जाएगा। राष्ट्रपति की उपलब्धियां और भत्ते तथा उनके पद के संबंधित अन्य व्यय, राज्यसभा के सभापति और उनके सभापति के तथा लोकसभा के अध्यक्ष और उपाध्यक्ष के वेतन और भत्ते, ऐसा ऋण भार जिसका दायित्व भारत सरकार पर है, जिनकी अंतर्गत ब्याज, निष्पक्ष निधि भार और मोचन भार, क्या हिंदी है भाई, समझ नहीं आती, मोचन भार तथा उधार लेने और ऋण सेवा और ऋण मोचन से संबंधित अन्य व्यय। उच्चतम न्यायालय के न्यायाधीशों को यह उसके संबंध में संदेह वेतन भत्ते और पेंशन, फेडरल न्यायालय के न्यायाधीशों को या उनके संबंध में संसदीय पेंशन, उच्च न्यायालय के न्यायाधीशों के या उनके संबंध में दी जाने वाली पेंशन, जो भारत के राज्य क्षेत्र के अंतर्गत किसी क्षेत्र के संबंधों में अधिकारिता का प्रयोग करता। फेडरल न्यायालय के न्यायालयों को भी यह संबंध में संसद है। उच्चतम न्यायालय के न्यायालयों को ये उनके संबंध से है। ओके, कौन सा आर्टिकल है? 113। हम कौन सा पढ़े थे? 113 था ना, 112 था शायद, 112। 112 का, यस, 112 मैं इस पे पढ़ा नहीं। सो किसी न्यायालय या मध्यस्थ प्राधिकरण के लिए ये संविधान है यार। ये है उच्च न्यायालय के न्यायाधीशों को या उनके संबंध में दी जाने वाली पेंशन जो भारत के राज्य क्षेत्र के अंतर्गत किसी क्षेत्र के संबंध में आधिकारिकता का प्रयोग करता है, ये भी है ना इसमें। यस, 113 पढ़ना, 117 मालूम पड़ गया, ये आगे सकते हैं। So dear friends, I continue about this expenditure to Article 112, and we have seen how budget is done. That's called budget statement, expenditures analysis. What was said in Article 112, and before that, what expenses and money bills, and were explained and defined is very important to what we do. Up to this, we have very important responsibility to understand how Parliament works, how Lok Sabha Rajya Sabha works, what are their responsibilities are defined in is on the procedures of these houses, which are very important to understand. If you understand this, very fine. And we should have knowledge of this. I'm not saying that you go on details, but we should know what does, how Lok Sabha does, what House Rajya Sabha does, and what President does. The President Lok Sabha Rajya, which is Parliament, and not members. The Parliament's rights of members, they do. They so our candidates, our elected members must be capable to understand what they have to do. That is very important point of view. These are very serious matters, as we have discussed just now, about money bills, about expenditures, about what they should do, what duties they have to do. If we send to Parliament Lok Sabha members in stupid form, in incompetent people, they go there. What shall we? They don't even, they don't know how to even undertake their ceremony of oath taking. What you expect this to do for you? That's very important point to understand. Parliament business is very serious business. It's not simple. It is serious work. It's not halla, halla bol. It's not halla bol. It's not mahal kya hai. It's work, serious business. They are thinking. They have to contemplate. They should be thinker. They have to think what they want to do for coming time. What they have to do for people. How people shall work. How shall people think about this? All are serious matters. Very high profile matters, not film, no cinema it is, no cricket it is, no football it is, no gilly danda it is. It is serious work, like science work, like physics, chemistry work. You have to think on, you have to debate, you have to contemplate to find coordination matter, you have to find a point from various laws. When some bill comes into Parliament, it's not simply bill, you just read and approve, no, it's not that. Because this bill has relations to many other acts. This bill has got relations to constitution, this bill has relation to free support judgments, and this bill must have some relation to something else, and what people require, what they don't require. You have to analyze each and every aspect, and that's job of MP. That is not simple job. MP should be strong enough to understand this, and MP should have time to work at home to see all this, read this bill and analyze this. It's not simply bill comes, no, I am from BJP, I am from what, I will support this, I will not support. That's not job of MP. A bill comes from BJP or by Congress doesn't mean it's right bill. You have to understand what is bill. You have to read that. You have to see what people are, what they expect, and what you expect with the party manifesto, and what nation expects. That's everything you have to see. That's very important from each and every point of view. If you don't see that, you miss everything. You have to analyze. You have to study. You have to see what you have to do. You discuss, you confirm with your other MPs, other members of the groups of parliament, talk to them off proceeding of house, and then see whether what you are doing is right or is wrong. You cannot simply blindly support, oh, yeah. No, it's not that. It's bill, it's future, it's not 1 day future, it's not 1 month future, it's future of your nation, continuation. There is no limit on bills except money bill is only for 1 year, I know, but other bills, other acts that come for future, they are limitless, forever. Just like constitution has no limits, forever. All acts are forever. So when you are writing future of these people, first you have to understand what you are, what you can do, what your mind is, what your collection form is, how integrated you are to work, how competent you are to work, what's the consistency of working, what your method is, what you can interact with people. You have to interact with the party, you have to interact with each and everyone. Only then you can support a bill or you can reject a bill. It is very, very, very serious matter. It's no interest, it's no entertainment. Sometimes you feel bored. Why I see I was feeling bored on reading, but okay, you feel bored, you stay for half a minute, but you have to continue. You are sent to parliament for this purpose, not seeking. Ha 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 ha. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not your game. That's called foolish MP. Think and think and think and think. That's your job. You have to respond to people. If you make wrong bill, wrong results will come. People will suffer. People will cry. You want people to cry? No. That's why I say parliament is very, very responsible job, and your MP should be responsible one. He should be responsible. It doesn't matter if it belongs to Congress, it belongs to BJP or whosoever bloody party. I don't care. I don't care. Prime Minister should direct me to whom to vote. No, Prime Minister has got no authority to direct me. I don't need any advice from Prime Minister. I don't need any advice from any other leader. I have to see myself. What can I do for this country, for my people? And then, based on that, I have to ensure that my MP's qualifications or capabilities are meeting future requirement of Parliament. And that's what we have to see. But we are not seeing that. Because we don't want to see that, we are lazy. Let them do something. We don't even care for what bills are coming, what they are doing, what they are not doing. Parliament, leave it. I'll see serial. I'll see something else. Let them talk in Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. Don't bother about that. This is happening. We leave to them what they do is right. We leave to them. We don't even want to check. Some things are very interesting. We have to see. You must see, you have to increase your knowledge of national level and international level. You can even see proceedings of British Parliament or some other parliaments just to acquire knowledge. You have to understand how they conduct their proceedings, how other countries conduct their proceedings. Things are available now. You can see videos, YouTube, everything. There's so many availabilities of videos. You can just increase your knowledge. Doesn't mean go to market and buy a book, not at all. That's what I'm saying. Open your eyes and come on, don't sleep all time. And adequately your sleep, don't sleep anymore. Well, I'll continue later on. Now it's closed. हिंदी में नहीं बात कर सका, टाइम नहीं था. बाद में बात करने की कोई बात नहीं है. I'm sorry for that. Try to learn English. My English is not very good, but at least you are understanding what I'm saying. I'm not an author of English. I'm not a competent commander of English. I know English only in a way it can be communicated to you clearly, and that's what I say. I cannot say what words are used in constitutional law. I cannot speak like that. I don't know what to speak. I want to communicate in a proper way so that each person of every age can understand what I am speaking, and that is required. So excuse me for that. I'll speak later on in Hindi, and whatever I have spoken you might have understood. Maybe my grammar is not very good, my translation is not good, but expression is okay. Expression is important. Who bothers about grammar now? Who bothers about translation? It means what should be fine and you must understand, and that's all. Broken English fine, continuous English fine, standing English fine, competent English fine, everything is fine, no problem to an extent to understand very well. So I will explain again in Hindi as well in other videos, but now wherever we will continue from this level to others, I will leave many parts from Constitution which are not relevant. For example, details of judicial proceedings I will not take, many other proceedings I will not take. I will take only which are interesting currently for each and every citizen of this country to know, so that you cannot waste your time on my videos also. Just get only those information which are important to common citizens of this country. And with this, I'm concluding this. Thank you very much for your cooperation. I don't know who is there, but doesn't matter. You may find time and read it later or also early morning. I will be sleeping. But yet, I will say thanks again to those who may watch this video and who will attend in future also. Thank you very much for your time. And Jai Bharat, Jai Savidhaan, Jai Bharat, Jai Savidhaan.